Hello everyone, Raven Knight here, and man, time for another update video. Well, it's a little weird making this update video after last night, because last night was the big reveal, the big face reveal, and had a lot of fun with that, guys. I really enjoyed doing that. There was a fun Q&A. We'll definitely have to do something else like that sometime, but before that, let's get into some updates, some stuff that y'all need to know. Not a lot today, but just some clarification points. So first and foremost, I'm going to be taking a short break from video making. Not long, probably just a week, maybe a week and a half. I just need some time to, do things, other things that I really enjoy. One of the big problems is, and someone asked me about this in the Q&A last night. They asked me, what are the benefits or perks of being a YouTuber? And I gotta say, the biggest benefit and perk to being a YouTuber is being able to do what I love with a large audience. Being able to produce what I really like, and to interact with a community that I greatly appreciate. I think the downside, though, and this is the only big downside for me, is quite often I get so caught up in trying to keep it running, keep the momentum going, that I feel like I'm a slave to it, almost like I can't do other things that I enjoy. Like, I haven't touched some of my stories in a long time, like some of the stories that I write. I haven't touched them, so I'm going to take some time to do some writing, and it won't be all bad. Like, I'm still planning on doing a few things, which I'll mention in a minute, but that's just something that I'm going to be doing. So just be aware, if I don't release something for a week, it's not because I'm dead, it's just because I need some time. But on that note, some of the stuff that I'm going to be writing, that I'm going to be sharing with y'all, should be interesting to some degree. I'm going to do an audio reading of one of my short stories called Tea with a King, which I think y'all might find interesting, especially if you're a fan of Japanese history and Oda Nobunaga. I think you'll like it. If not, well, it's not a big deal. But I wanted to share that with y'all. I think that'll be fun. Also, I'm going to be working on the Raven lore, which is basically a series of short stories and chapters about the lore of the Raven Lord's world. A lot of people have found that interesting whenever I talk about the lore of the Raven Lord, so this should be a very interesting video to make. I will enjoy writing this out. I've been sitting around just thinking a lot about how you can make this work, like, for one thing, me and my brother have been thinking about how the Raven Lord obtained his power, how the Raven Lord rose up to become a leader, what kind of subjects and followers he would have, the role of the Lemenials in his military and in his government, and just the peasant class. And we finally came up with a name for the enemy, Malorum, or Malorum, however you want to pronounce it. He's the main villain faction, and so yeah, we've been thinking about this a lot. It should be a lot of fun. So if y'all are at all interested in the Raven lore and want to know more about that, leave a comment below to ask your questions and let me know that you're really that interested, because it's going to be fun. I'm going to enjoy working on it, so let me know that y'all are excited about it too, because that's going to make me even more excited to start working on it, In other news, new Raven's writing room in the works. We're going to be talking about support characters. I mentioned that before in the last update video, but just wanted to remind you that that is what's going to be happening. We're going to be talking about how to write good support characters, how to write good love interest characters, the characters who don't really meet the status of protagonist or antagonist, but sort of stand off to the side. There is a right and wrong way to write them, believe it or not. There are right and wrong ways to write them. And some people are going to argue with me on that. They're going to say, oh, come on, it's subjective. You can write what you want. Yes, but don't be surprised if someone doesn't like it if you write it wrong, There are good ways to write character. Next topic, the new Fantastical History video will be on zombies and the undead. A couple people were asking me, am I going to include skeletons and Draugr and stuff like that? Yes, they're all going to be included. Because what I want to do is I kind of want to do this on a general sense. If I really look at zombies and skeletons as two separate entities, I'm going to be making two videos that kind of just say the same thing. So we're going to be looking at the undead in a general sense. We're going to be looking at both the undead in terms of the savage, ravenous, mindless beasts of George Romero, but also we're going to be looking at the more intelligent, more thought-capable zombies like what you see with Korewa Zombie Deska or Zombina or stuff like that. Anime tends to make zombies a lot more intelligent and interesting, except for High School of the Dead, which I found atrocious. But that's another story altogether. Other than that, I know that you're all wondering when I'm going to do my next For Honor related video, because some people have been asking if am I going to talk about Holden Cross, am I going to talk about Griffin, am I going to talk about Chimera? Here's the problem, guys. I do want to talk about those things, but I'm a slave to whatever the lore creators put out. So I have to wait on them to give me more information on Chimera. Right now, we only know more about Horkos. Right now, they've been releasing a lot of Horkos lore, which is fine. I can work with that. But if you want me to talk Chimera, I need to see more information on Chimera so that I can analyze it, think on it, and release my thoughts on it. As of right now, the only thing I can say definitively about Chimera is that they are definitely in opposition to Horkos, but I don't really know what they fight for. Do they fight for peace? Well, Griffin said that fighting for peace is just silly. It doesn't mean anything. It's not worth dying for. So what are they fighting for? It's very hard for me to believe that all of Chimera just fights to make things right, because that is such a vague, almost Mary Sue level ideal. I'm fighting to make things right. What is right, dumbass? You know, like, what is right to you? Because to Horkos, what they're doing is right. Are you saying you're fighting to right your own wrongs? Are you saying you're fighting to undo the crimes of the past, or to undo Apollyon's legacy? What are you fighting for? I need to know this so that I can analyze it. And once I do, then I will talk about Chimera and Griffin in more detail. Until then, I will be doing a Heroes in History sometime in the future. I did Warmonger recently, but I think I'm going to either hit, I'm probably going to hit a Wulin now. I'll probably do Shaolin. Maybe Zhang Jun. Got to think about that. I kind of already did Zhang Jun in a funny way, because Zhang Jun is based on Guan Yu, and I did a whole 3-part series on Guan Yu, so I don't know. We'll see. I got to think about that one for a little while. But in any case, it's going to be a bit before I do that, because like I said, taking a break. So anyway, just a couple things before I go. Last time I did this, I'm trying to do like a thing where in the Ravens writing room, I give y'all a little challenge and I let y'all try to accomplish the challenge or beat the challenge, you know. And I didn't do that last time because I hadn't had the time to read the comments. I have now, so I have officially decided on who I think did the best. And don't get me wrong, I read through all of them. All of y'all did exceptionally good work. Y'all did very, very well. But today I gotta give it to Murlo Zanini, who put theirs in on Clara Narwin. I won't read the whole thing here because it would take too long, but it is a very interesting story about a young woman who married young, but her family was destroyed in a Viking invasion, but was rescued by the Blackstone Legion and Apollyon. She wants to defend herself in the future, become stronger. So when she's finally freed by the Blackstone Legion, she joins the Iron Legion to become a warrior and to fight. And then she goes to attack the Black Fortress, you know. And when she gets there, she thinks that she's doing right when she finds out that she had a hand in helping to defeat Apollyon, her savior. So she's very conflicted. She isn't sure what she wants to do anymore. She isn't sure who she is. Like, you know, like, I was saved by Apollyon, but in my quest to fight for peace, I ended up destroying my savior. What does that mean for me? And so it's kind of her, and I could see a really interesting story coming out of that, where you have a person still struggling to understand who they are and what they're meant to do with the power they've acquired. So very good job on that. I would definitely go read it. It is, I think, the top comment in that video on villains. So definitely go read that. And everyone else who participated, you did fantastic. I loved almost every single one I read. That aside, oh yeah, I forgot to mention, someone asked me if I would give my thoughts on Star Wars. I will do a video where I talk about Star Wars, I promise, because I do have thoughts on that. Now, so at the end of each of my update videos, I try to do a shout out to a historical resource or place where you can go to find more information about history, and my brother wanted me to give this one a shout out, so I looked into them myself. They are very good. I really do want to shout these guys out. It's a YouTube channel called Kings and Generals. Kings and Generals is a very, very cool channel, which used to focus mostly on gaming, but then they moved on to history, and their history videos are really top-notch. They cover a lot of different people and cultures and places and battles and civilizations. It's very, very interesting. They have a whole Cold War channel where they talk about the intricacies of the Cold War. They talk about Asia quite a bit. They've talked about Japanese figures, Chinese figures. They've talked about Islamic history. They've talked about Africa. Caesar in Africa was a very fun video. I enjoyed watching that. There's a lot there. I don't want to spoil too much for y'all, but just know that they cover a lot of very fascinating topics, and they are a YouTube channel very much worth checking out. So I highly suggest going in to check them out. I'll leave a link to them in the description. Y'all just really need to look into these guys. They are an excellent, excellent resource. I can't recommend them highly enough. So definitely, if you're interested in more history, go check out Kings and Generals. All right, guys, that about wraps it up. Thank you so much for watching today. Don't forget to like and comment if you enjoyed, so that you can let me know what you enjoyed. Let me know in the comment section what you're looking forward to in the future, what kind of stuff you're looking forward to me creating, or what any requests you have of me are. Please subscribe if you haven't, because you need to throw some bread at your boy. Would really appreciate that. Teespring link will also be in the description. And thank you guys so much for staying loyal and following me this long, if you are a subscriber already. And I will see you in the next video. Take care.